Military spending, including defense-related civilian jobs, has boosted San Diego's economy for decades, but there's differing opinions on how much automatic cuts to federal spending will impact our community. John Warren, editor and publisher of San Diego Voice and Viewpoint, is here to help sort out some of these mixed messages. John, it's estimated that San Diego could lose up to 30,000 jobs if these automated cuts go through. What kind of jobs are we talking about?
Well, I think we're looking at across the board. We have the defense jobs, for instance. We could have losses at North Island. We could have losses with MCRT. We could have losses at Camp Pendleton, Oceanside. We have over 100,000 military people in uniform. And then we have subsidiaries. We have civilian employees. And so we see a trickle effect that would reach into many, many homes.
That's kind of the glass half empty approach. Some people are saying there's a new focus on the Asia Pacific, and that could actually end up, if we get these cuts, the new focus could help boost jobs.
Well, yes, some people are saying that. For instance, we were slated to receive a third aircraft carrier for this area. We don't know if that carrier would go elsewhere, but we do know that if there's a greater emphasis on the Pacific Rim, then there would have to be more resources pumped into San Diego, since we are the key springboard for that area. We just don't know what that would mean, or how many people, or how it would materialize.
So first the cuts, and then perhaps the focus.
If it goes that way,
If it
yes.
goes that way. The automated budget cuts are called sequestration.
Yes.
What does that mean exactly?
In effect, it means that for all of the federal spending that we will have a 10% cut across the board in every area under the Budget Control Act of 2011. And so that means that in the military, for instance, within the Defense Department, $492 billion in cuts, domestic programs, another $490 billion, first year of 2012, $55 billion in defense. And so it would just be a clean sweep.
So I think it's important to note this isn't just defense budget, defense spending that's being cut. It's evenly set up across the board.
That's correct. The budget is intended to make these cuts over a 10-year period. And so the first year we know would be $55 billion for defense. We don't know exactly what that would be in terms of domestic, but we do know that unemployment would obviously go up with dollars cutting off.
Right, with the loss of that. What are some of the other choices for, I'm assuming I do know there are some other choices besides these automatic budget cuts. Can you tell me some of those?
Well, we've always had a choice. I mean, this whole thing started back in 2011 when we could not get a budget. The Congress is supposed to come up with a budget annually. And when we could not get a budget following the big crisis over the debt ceiling increase, then a committee was created, a super committee, and this super committee had a deadline by last Thanksgiving. It didn't make the deadline, and it agreed as a compromise to kick these changes in. So there's still time for the Congress to come together with the president and do something before January.
Yeah, the super committee, I remember that.
Yes.
They couldn't get it, nobody can get it together with this budget. Mayor Jerry Sanders actually joined some other mayors from large cities in Washington earlier this week to say that he did not want these defense cuts to happen and talk about the impact in San Diego. Is that kind of, I don't want to say show, but does it really do anything? Does it impact the decision?
Well, in this case, it does, because those mayors belong to an organization known as the U.S. Conference of Mayors. U.S. Conference of Mayors carries a great deal of influence in terms of the Congress and the White House. And this is a time when people are running for congressional seats that are within the districts of the cities where these mayors are in charge in many respects. And so you will have an opportunity to influence elections locally. And you also have a battle going in terms of the Republicans trying to maintain control of the House, Democrats trying to pick up seats like we have here. We're trying to keep 2 Democratic seats. And so, yes, what the mayors say means a great deal because they can influence their local political structure.
Oh, so they can, even if they're not,
yes,
even though Mayor
not
Sanders
formally,
will be.
But yes, they can.
Okay. Just really briefly, we're almost out of time here. We have, General Dynamics here. We get a lot of defense money that's not necessarily spent directly on defense products, shall I say, like that. Is that some money that could be cut as well?
Oh, yes. We would lose dollars there. We have ship repair, shipbuilding, of course, General Dynamics. All of our contractors stand to lose something, and we don't know exactly how much, depending on the programs, what years. Many of these programs are multi-year programs, so we can't say in 1 year how much right away, but they would all be impacted.
Greatly. All right, John Warren, thank you so much for talking with us.
Thank you.